Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday, and it's going to be probably the live of the year. Hey, everybody! Make sure you say good evening in the chat area. Yeah, call for help now. You're gonna need it. It seems like every single week we come on and say this might be the live of the year, and we've really been in this space lately. A lot of people's lives are changing, and we're grateful for that. Tonight is one of those life-changing sessions that if you take this stuff and really apply it to your life, it has life-changing potential for you. Hey, Brandy, potential for you. So this is going to be good. And I can't promise you tonight's going to be easy for some of you. Not at all. I cannot promise that this is going to be easy for many of you, but I can promise you that this is going to be an incredible session. Indeed. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, and this is going to be a lot of fun. To all of the birds, welcome. Don't fly too low tonight, you might get shot. Like the video, share the video. Let's get into it. I want you to let me know, city, state, country. If you're not from America, city, state, country, or country you're tuned in from. Let's go. All right. City, state, or country. And yeah, I was on time. I missed by 1 minute tonight. I'm excited. I'm really excited. TikTok, do me a favor. We hit 100,000 likes last week. My content is seriously shadow banned on TikTok. So let's do that again this week. I want you on TikTok to let me know where you're tuning in from. What's up, Eric? And then hit that love button and wear it out tonight. Will y'all do that? Good. Bedford, Indianapolis, Indiana, Hanover, Odenton, Maryland, Memphis, St. Louis, Fredericksburg, Salisbury, Portsmouth, West Palm, Ottawa, Canada. Hey, Lydia, subscriber and client. Hawaii, El Paso, Texas, Columbia, Mississippi, Colonial Heights. All right, good. Keep going. Charlotte, Houston, Topeka, Columbus, Maryland. Yeah, Houston. All right, Oregon, Arlington, Columbus, Maryland. Good. Jackson, keep going. Inspire Nation, this is going to be big tonight. We're going to have a blast. And I'm telling you, I am excited. I'm not rested. It's been a very busy week. June is a chaotic month for me. Thank you. Winston-Salem. All right. Hometown. Philly, Raleigh, Houston, Clemson. This has not been a very restful month, but July is a month of rest for me. So I'm looking forward to it. Hey, Pastor K, good to see you. I miss you and love you. Toronto, Tampa, LA. All right. Clemson. Good. Syracuse, St. Louis, Alameda. Y'all like the video, share the video. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Do it all in one fell swoop. South Haven, Mississippi, Chicago. Thank you. DC, Wisconsin. I'll be in DC soon. New Orleans. Hey. Thank you for your first live visit, Ford. I appreciate that. Bay Area, OKC. Good to see you, Sammy. Minneapolis. Hey, Sumter. Dallas, Montreal again. Wow, Canada's heavy tonight. NOLA again. Wow, South Africa. Thank you. Bellingham, Washington, Virginia, Corona, California, Phoenix, Virginia. This is going to be great tonight. I'm so stoked to be here. And this is going to be good. DMV. Thank you so much, Keisha, Virginia. Colorado Springs, hey Noel, Pennsylvania, Virginia Beach. Want to shout out all of my subscribers on all of my networks. Thank you so much for your support. I'm seeing a lot of you starting to pop in the room, and I'm excited to have you with us tonight. Rhode Island, Fort Myers, Florida, Columbus, Kansas City, North Carolina. Hey, how you doing? Raleigh. All right. Baltimore. Thank you, D. Williams. NYC, Boston. Good. This is going to be incredible tonight. And tonight's live is not for the faint of heart. I'll tell you who tonight's live is for. Is for anybody that's on the fence about what they should do next as it relates to the relationships that they're in. I want to make it clear before any birds jump in the room tonight. One of the best videos and most exciting videos that I've done recently. Yeah, you're going to need a pen and a journal. That goes without saying. This is your first time. So if this is your first time tuning in, you need a journal. You need something to write with, record notes, and we record notes in the chat area as well. But let me say this before any birds get in the comments tonight. One of the best videos that have given me so much joy to do was the one that I did Saturday with my children, celebrating 100 couples reconciled in 25 months. And so I want to make it clear, I'm not in the breakup business, but sometimes my content breaks people up, and that's not my fault. The reality is, my job is to bring people to a place called self-awareness. And that's what a lot of counselors, therapists, coaches don't do. And that's why a lot of people aren't growing, if I'm being honest with you. So my content isn't easy. My approach isn't easy, but it works. And that's all I care about, if I'm being honest with you. So 100 couples reconciled in the last 25 months is about 4 couples a month. That's pretty impressive. I'm excited about it. And I just want to thank all of you for your support there. So again, just wanted to mention that before we get into this, because tonight's going to be heavy for many of you. And yeah, many of you are tuned in to many of your points. Some of you are just coming for confirmation. It'll be confirmation, or you'll have to second guess what you've decided and maybe think about it again. But this is going to be good. It's for people that are in relationships, married. If you're in a situationship, I don't know if it applies to you. I'll explain that in a little while. But this is going to be good. All right. Thank you, Dave Williamson. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Thank you so much. This is going to be good. So, right, this is what this is all about. And again, very solutions driven here, and very much operating in this honest space. And I think this is where people see results. Hey, April, I'll owe you a text. I have not forgotten you. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, we're really doing good tonight. TikTok, I need you to like the video, share the video. Let's get it up to 500. Now, a couple of announcements real quick. Quickly, I'll talk about July. It's Purpose Month. I'll talk about that at the end. Subscribe to Patreon and IG if you haven't already. I'm on a pretty consistent cadence with Monday nights being exclusively for Patreon and IG subscribe. So if you haven't done that, do that right away, because I'm really about to scale that up after I vacation. And that's going to be cool. Heal My Life is going to launch next week. I'll be recording my first video probably tomorrow. I finally got all of my content together. So that's going to be cool. If you've got a question or something you want me to answer and make a video out of it, you can email me at info@zebthethird.com. Subject line, Heal My Life. All right. Now, hey, Rick, what's up? Put in the comments. Oh, before I tell you to do that, Inspired Nation, you know we fly high like eagles and not low like birds. So in the event that you all see a comment in the comment section that I don't catch, that is low-hanging fruit from someone who's really butthurt about the truth, you know what to put in the comments. All right. If this, you know what I'm talking about, and you know what to put in the comments, go ahead and drop it in the comments so that everybody knows. All right. We put these in the comments because we fly high above birds. What are they? Anybody? Eagles. Thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate it. All right. So if you see eagles in the comments tonight, do not panic. All right. It just simply means we're flying high above birds. All right. And so let's just keep the comment chat area very honest, but let's keep it respectful. All right. And let's respect everybody's commentary, including mine. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like what I say, but it's going to change your life. I promise you. All right. So let's get into it. Of course, you can support the show. The ways to support should be on the screen. I want to shout out Keish and April, all of my moderators on all of my networks. I appreciate your hard work, and thank you for all you do. You should see the ways to support on the screen. Let's get into it. Put in your journal or on the screen or both tonight's topic. Should I stay or should I go? It's a question. Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go? That's what we're talking about tonight. Find your journal now, because you're going to need it. Y'all, I got a lot I got to get through. And yeah, should I stay or should I go? Is what we're going to talk about. All right. And Record notes in the comments, put notes in the chat, like the video, share the video. You should share this with someone, anyone, girlfriend, boyfriend, somebody that you're connected to, who might be in a tough relationship and they're on the fence. My job is not necessarily to push people into breakup tonight. I want to say this again for the second time and probably the final time. My job is not to push anybody into breakup tonight, but at the same token, my job is to be honest with you. You can take it and do whatever you want to do with it. I don't care, as always. My job is not to be liked. It is to give you the truth, and hopefully through that, you'll start liking me. But that's what it is. So let's deal with this. Should I stay? Should I go? That's what we're going to talk about. Now, I want to start with this. And please support the show. Y'all going to have to support the show tonight. I want to start with some challenges that make this decision complicated. All right. I want to start with some challenges that make this decision complicated because many of you, look, there's nothing, if I'm being honest, there's nothing like the uncertainty of being in a space or being with someone and not knowing what you should do about the relationship. And there are a lot of factors that factor into this. And I'm going to walk through maybe 4 or 5 of them. There are many, but I'm going to walk through maybe 4 or 5 that I see are really big factors. Okay. And I'm going to start you light and I'm going to walk you heavy. But there are a lot of factors, and I want to deal with some of these challenges, put some things to bed. Let me start off with those of you that are parents. Okay. Those of you that are parents that are either in a marriage or parents that are single parents technically, but you're in relationship, right? So you're not married, so you're technically single, but you're in relationship and children are involved. All right. One of the most challenging decisions, or one of the things that makes this decision complicated sometimes, is children. All right. And I think one of the most powerful videos that I've ever done on social media was about the burning house. If you haven't seen that video, find it. It's on TikTok. It's on Instagram, I believe. Find the video where I talk about the burning house, and it's based on a true client story where a lady was really in a very bad relationship, marriage, and she stayed in the name of kids. And in this work, I have seen too many people stay in bad situations in the name of children. Now, let me say this, right? Number one, children don't ask to be here. Okay? They don't ask to be here. they don't ask for you to choose the people you choose. So a lot of times, whether you are dealing with the parent of your child, let me get my stylus, I'm gonna need it. Whether you're dealing with the parent of your child or you're dealing with a potential step parent or someone that is not the parent of your child, the reality is the people we choose to have in our lives have consequences for our children. And I'm going to just tell you off the bat, I can tell many of you don't care about your kids because of the people you choose. I wish I could say it in Spanish. I can tell many of you don't care about the people you care about your children based on the people you choose. We can look at your choices and tell you don't care about your kids. And then you hit us with stuff like, oh, mama got to have a life too. Oh, daddy got to have a life too. Here's the breaking news. Thanks, D. I appreciate that. Here's the breaking news. The reality is, when you have kids, your life is no longer what it was. I want you to put that in the chat. That's your first note. You're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler all weekend. Put it in the comments. When I have kids, my life is no longer the same. I don't know if I do in West Georgia. I got family everywhere. That's possible, Jay. I'm serious. Put it in the chat. Why y'all not record notes? You can type church if it's too heavy with a whole bunch of R's. Support the show. When you have kids, your life is no longer the same. So if you ain't got no kids and you're more interested in choosing who you want to and having hot girl summers and hot boy summers and all of this stuff, and that's more important than who you choose, then stay single and stay kidless. Thanks, Tiff. I don't think I shouted you out earlier for moderators. I appreciate you. You know I do. You hear me? If you don't want to change your life, don't have kids. And let me tell you what annoys Doc in this space. I really absolutely try my best to help anybody that comes my way in this space. But you want to know what frustrates me? People who are in bad relationships and they got kids that they dragging through those bad relationships. You are doing your kid a disservice to be in a bad, unhealthy, toxic, unfruitful, unproductive, unhealthy relationship, and you have impressionable kids that are absorbing your every move. We do know that from the age of 3 to 8, research tells us that's when our brains are the softest, which means as humans, we are most impressionable from the ages of 3 to 8. This is especially true for those of you with young children, dragging them from relationship to relationship. But let me tell you how y'all make this complicated. You make it complicated because you say crazy stuff like, well, this is my child's father. We got to work it out. This is my child's mother. I got to work it out. I don't want my kids to grow up without a two-parent home. When the reality is the data tells us that kids that come from single-parent homes, as long as at least one of those parents are healthy, those kids have an equal opportunity to have healthy and fruitful and productive relationships and connections in the future, just as much as two-parent homes. It is not about a kid coming from a single-parent home. It is about a kid coming from a home where at least one of those parents is healthy, which explains why a lot of kids come out of two-parent homes and they can't keep a man. Which explains why a lot of kids come out of a two-parent home and they can't keep a woman. So we continue to purport this narrative that the only way people are going to be healthy is if they come out of two-parent homes. Now, that's the best scenario only if both parents are healthy. When I say healthy, I'm talking about the 5 areas of healing, obviously. I'm not talking about you being in shape. I'm talking about your mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial well-being. Because I would submit to you that if a child comes through a two-parent home and both of those parents are miserable or both of those parents are unhealthy, that child's doomed. Am I cooking baby or what? I'm talking to my little baby. Those children are doomed coming out of a two-parent home where both of the kids are unhealthy. Good luck with that. And many of you knuckleheads walk around purporting this as if that they are in a better shape just because two bodies are present. No. I would submit to you, they have double the dysfunction coming from a two-parent home with two dysfunctional people. So for all of you that said, I can't leave this because I cannot raise my kid out of a two-parent home, you better make sure you're evaluating that situation. Because you're telling me that it's better for them to be around a body than to be around a healthy body. And I'm telling you that ain't true. Y'all, where my salads at? My salads are dry. I ain't seen a salad come through here yet. This making sense? I'm just getting warmed up. It's about to get bad. I'm starting light. And let me give you the gag. Y'all want to know what the gag is? Here's the gag. The gag is you be staying, excuse the English, you be staying in bad relationships. For real. You be staying in bad relationships in the name of your kids when the gag is the kids can already tell it's a terrible relationship. So you're putting on a front for kids who already know the difference, who already know what's up. And some of y'all don't think your kids know. Because some of you think your kids are stupid. My kids ain't stupid. Thank you, Teresa, for the salad. Not only my kids not stupid, my kids, like your kids, know a whole lot more than what you give them credit for. Because the little kids do something that adults tend to lose over time. You know what that is? They have the ability to sense. They have the ability to sense. They can walk in a room and feel when something ain't right. And you know what happens to us as adults? We get older, we think we're smart, we get successful, we get detached from being in the present and reality. And you know what we do? We lose our sense of awareness, our environment. Kids can walk in a room and tell when it's cold. You can take a kid and put a kid in a room with the teacher, and that teacher can absolutely tell whether or not that teacher really likes them or does not. You can put a kid in a room full of adults, and that kid can fill that room and tell you if those adults really like them. So you mean to tell me that their own mom and daddy, they can't feel and tell when their own mom and daddy don't get along? Y'all mean to tell me that? Are y'all really telling me this or not? Is this making sense? And so we just do this in the name of kid. I don't want my baby. I know my baby got to grow up. Thank you so much for the salad. Y'all rolling. Let's go. Let's do it. Thank you. I don't want my baby to feel all of this. Let me tell you something. I don't want my baby to grow up without their daddy. I don't want my baby to grow up with their mom. So you would rather them be in the same home with the toxicity. You would rather them inhale carbon monoxide for 18 years. And then you shocked when they get old and they get on their own and they start having relationships that all of a sudden they go into toxic relationships. They can't keep sustained relationships. You know why? Because they've inhaled carbon monoxide for the last 20 years. So we make children in broken homes this challenge when this is the goal. You ready? Record this. Someone has to teach children what healthy relationships look like. Thank you, Talia. I appreciate you. Someone has to teach children what healthy relationships look like. Someone has to teach children what healthy relationships look like. And I don't care if it's two parents, that's the best. Look, there's good, better, and best. The best scenario, you have two parents, both of them are healthy, and both of them can teach. That child, if that child fails, it's because they want to. That's the best case scenario. But all you need is one. Record that. All we need is one. All you need is one healthy parent to teach a child the way relationships should be. What's the best way to teach those children? By example. I'm telling you what the data's saying. Y'all making this stuff up. I'm telling you what the data's saying. And the data's saying that if a child has at least one healthy parent, that child has the potential to have outstanding relationships. I have friends that come from broken homes now. I can't relate to this. My parents have been married for 47 years. They've been the epitome and example of solid marriage and relationship. I honor my parents. They have been nothing but an example. I have nothing to complain about. Not at all. I don't have anything to complain about. I'm honored that my parents have been the example they have for me and for my children. But listen to me. A lot of you don't come from that situation. I have friends who come from broken homes. They have the best marriages I've ever seen. You know why? Because one of them, those friends of mine, had at least one parent that showed them the way. Thank you, Neil. I'm not making this up. Neil in TikTok said, I read the study. I'm not making this up. There's so much data on this. And we purport this narrative. The kid comes from a broken home. He's doomed. She's doomed. Lies. It's lies. If a kid comes from a home where no parents are healthy, yeah, that kid's on the way. Okay, so this is critical. All right, this is critical, and we just got to debunk that, because that is a narrative that's out there. All right, a child comes from a broken home, or a child's raised. I see you, Gigi. Good to see you. Another client and supporter. Child comes from, say, a situation where their guardians are their grandparents. As long as one of those grandparents are healthy and teaching them healthy standards, helping them to establish healthy values, those children are going to be fine. Those children have the opportunity. Let me rephrase that. Those children have the opportunity to be fine, but we got to kill with this dumb narrative, because that narrative is keeping y'all with your baby daddies and your baby mamas for far too long. And it's crazy, and you suffocating the life out of your kids, and you got to stop it. And for those of you that are not suffocating those kids with their own parents, you're putting them with folks that you date that ain't healed and healthy, thinking that because you got another person in there, it's going to be good for your kid. Not if they ain't healthy. And can I just go a step further while I'm in y'all's business and making y'all upset? I'm going to take it a step further. You ready? Y'all stop meeting people today and introducing them to your kids tomorrow. Oh, I don't expect no salads on that. Stop meeting people today and introducing them to your kids next week. Y'all stop. And y'all gonna sit there and act like, oh, I don't do that. You're a liar. I got the data. I have 962 clients in 31 countries. I'm not making this up. Y'all do this. And it's sickening. I like that. Somebody, GGM on TikTok said, what's even worse, some of y'all get divorced today, and by next week, you got a new partner. And they've already met your kids. Well, Doc, my kid's grown. It don't matter. Your grown kids don't want to meet your mates that fast either. It doesn't matter. It's ridiculous, and it's reckless. And it's proof you ain't healed enough to date. Doc, then how long should it be? Let me give you my humble opinion. You meet somebody and you dating them and getting to know them, and their kids involved, your kids should be the last layer. Let me give you the blueprint. I've never had to do this yet. My kids have never met a woman other than their mama. Doc, don't be hypocrite. I live by this. Okay, let's be clear. I could call names of other stuff other folks y'all followed that later on you found out they won't live in nothing they was teaching. This, not that. My kids have never met another woman that I've been involved with but their mama. Now, let me tell you what the order is. Let's say Doc meet somebody, and this is the one. Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate you. Let me tell you what I would do. It would be this order. Number one, obviously, y'all, I'm not married if I'm talking about meeting somebody. Y'all just don't read. Don't y'all? Don't. Listen, let me tell you the order Doc would follow. Okay. Number one, I met someone great. I'm going to get to know them, right? And we're going to get tight and it's going to be great and it's going to go well, right? And then, y'all stop. I appreciate you, Q. Hey, Q, what's going on, man? I love you. I love you. So So I meet somebody. It goes great. I don't know what that time period is. I believe when two people are healed, it don't take all day. I believe that. You ain't got to wait 15 years if you heal, which is why it's important that you do this work before you get into this work, right? Before you meet people, you need to do this work. Okay, birds, do the work. So I meet somebody, right? And it's going swell. Right? And we decide, hey, you know what? We're going to scale this up. Let's take this to the next level. Let's go ahead and go marriage, stuff like this. You know, some of you birds don't even believe in marriage because you think it's a government thing. I'm not going to deal with y'all today. So I decide, we decide, we're going to take it to the next level. Then this is what happens. The next layer, if you have brothers and sisters, that's the next layer. This is free game. I need everybody to put in the chat in all capital letters, levels. Levels. I'm teaching y'all pure wisdom. Levels. The next layer is not your parents. No. The next layer are your siblings. And let me tell you why. Because your siblings become a good buffer to determine whether or not this person is worthy of going to the parent level. You're welcome. 100 couples reconciled in 25 months. How many of y'all reconciled? Okay. That's a good question. Christian says, what about I don't have siblings? Then you got to have very close friends that are like brothers, that are like sisters, right? Very close friends. Good substitute. See, I love it. Inspired Nation. You guys are thinkers. I love this, right? Very close brothers or friends, things like that, right? If you are the only children, close friends that are like brothers, that are like sisters, watch this, that are going to tell the truth. Close cousins, right? That kind of thing, right? Okay? That kind of thing. Now, so you're going to go to that level next. And they're going to pass the brother, sister, friends that's like a brother, friends that's like a sister, close cousin, that they're going to pass that level, right? And I'm not, and look, you can go the cousin route if you don't have brothers and sisters. Some of you may not be as close with your cousins. You might be closer with friends than you are cousins, right? So you got to really measure that, right? So that's the next level. Then, y'all, then, when they pass that level, who do we go to next? Parents, guardians, grandparents, if they're still alive. Maybe your grandparents raised you, that kind of thing. That level. That's the next level. Okay? And you're going to live on that level, and you're going to introduce that person to that level, and you're going to see, you're going to try to get blessing on that level. Now, I know this is old-fashioned because some of y'all think you're grown, you don't need blessing for nobody, but that's the problem. And that's why many of you are going through the relationship challenges that you have now. I'm not saying your parents are perfect, but I am saying that most of our parents have been through stuff that we have not been through. And unless your parents are just unhealthy and toxic and dysfunctional, which happens, which does happen, it's good to get their input. Now, they may say no, and you may decide to proceed forward. Then you do that on your own being. But I mean, have a conversation, let that person meet them, arrange a dinner, have a conversation, and let them meet and engage and get to know one another. This is if it's serious. Okay? All right? So don't, Chrissy, triple threat. Don't, triple treat. Don't throw me off when I say past that level. That's what I mean, right? Getting to know that person, engage on that level. All right? And then watch this. When they pass that level, all right, Chrissy, quote unquote pass, right? When they pass that level, guess what's last? Your kids. Your kids are the last layer. You know why? The reason why your kids ought to be the last layer, because all of them other layers, guess who they're going to be thinking about when you're going through those layers? Your kids. Your kids. Now, there are a lot of other, I'm about to get in trouble when I say this. There are a lot of other layers that we can put in here. You could throw your pastor in there. If y'all know my background. I have clients that are Christian, Muslim, atheist, agnostic, Seventh-day Adventist, Mother Earth, and New Science, you name it, right? So I service everybody. I've been called to heal the world, right? So some of you might want to put your pastors or your priests or things like that in there. Totally up to you. Totally up to you. There's nothing wrong with getting that blessing. I believe in that too. But you need to make sure that that pastor, that priest, whomever, is really objectively giving you sound wisdom. Not telling you don't marry them because they don't want you to leave the church. Crazy stuff like that. Don't marry them because they don't want you to move. Great folk. Sometimes people in those positions be giving you advice purely for selfish reasons. And that's not right. Okay? But that's how this should go. Your kids should be the last resort. And then when your kids get to them, by the time your kids get to them, that person has been evaluated several times. And I'm not saying it's guaranteed the kid's going to like it, but it's a far better chance. That kid's going to feel more comfortable knowing Papa know him, Nana know him, Uncle know him, Auntie know him, Pastor know him, your best friend know him. That kid's going to feel a little bit more comfortable. And even if that kid ain't 100% sure, that kid feels more comfortable sitting across that dinner table, meeting you for the first time, and getting to know you. But no, you know what we do? You meet Tyrone at the club Friday, and by Monday, y'all going to lunch with your babies. And it's, wow, nasty work. Nasty work. Skipping all them steps and going right to your kids is nasty work. It's nasty work. Nasty work. It's nasty work. Put that in the comments right now. Nasty work. My son hates when I say nasty work. It's the truth. Or letting your kids spend the night and y'all all in the same house. You, your kid, and your new man and your new woman. Nasty work. The way people be pedophiling out here. It's nasty work. Is this making sense at all? Y'all with me? Is this making sense? Nasty work. Let me tell you something. A woman meet my kids, it's serious. They already know it. Now, kid, we've had this conversation. If a woman meets my kids, ooh, it's serious. They've been around. Papa and Grandma already know them. Until then, they chilling. I just got to keep it out their face. That's the responsible thing to do. So that's a challenge that makes this decision complicated. Y'all, I spent a lot of time on that. Let me go to challenge number 2. You ready? Let me just go ahead and make all y'all mad. Record this. Challenge number 1, children in broken homes. Y'all recording? You got your journals out? Huh? Challenge number 2. That makes this decision of whether or not you should stay or go complicated. You ready? Ignoring the signs and the obvious. Uh-oh. Ignoring the signs and the obvious. Yeah, I like that, Mr. Get It On. He's telling the truth. A lot of women today don't think like this. They don't. A lot of women are so much in a hurry to be married that they just put their kids in front of everybody. And a lot of men do the same. If they're not taking care of their kids, they just flaunt their kids in front of everyone. You drop your kids off with the woman you just met. It's wild to me. It's nasty work. Sign number 2. You ready? Ignoring the signs and the obvious. Let me explain. Let me explain. Y'all, some of us don't know whether or not we should stay or we should go Because if I'm being honest with you, we have an unhealthy relationship with honesty. We have an unhealthy relationship with honesty. We have an unhealthy relationship with honesty. Some of you don't know whether or not you should stay or go because you simply won't call a thing a thing. Nope, you don't call a thing a thing. What you'll do, though, is you will come up with every reason in the world to ignore the obvious. For instance, I've had clients say stuff to me like, Doc, I made this list of everything that I want in a mate, in a partner. And then I ended up marrying the person that was exactly like what I said I didn't want. So then I say, so why did you do it? They say, oh, well, I looked at potential. In my mind, I justified and thought that maybe, it'll go away. And now you all pissed about it when the reality is you ignored the obvious. And when we don't live in self-awareness, you ready? What's self-awareness? Record this. What's self-awareness? It's honesty about who you are, where you are, and what you're doing. Y'all got 961. I've heard this story hundreds of times. Y'all, honesty about who we are, where we are, and what we're doing. That's self-awareness. If this is the first time you tune in, that's a definition you should know. People that have tuned in before know this definition by heart. And the reality is, if you're not operating in self-awareness, you're going to not call a thing a thing. And y'all, listen, I want you to put this in the chat now. Get comfortable calling a thing a thing. You know why many of you have unrealistic expectations on your relationship? You know why you have unrealistic expectations on your marriage? Because you're not calling the person what they are. You don't want to call a thing a thing. And that's because some of you are comfortable in delusion. You've lived in delusion all your life. Nobody's challenged you to look at the truth. And here I am on the other side of the camera looking you in your face and saying, well, they cheated 7 times, got 2 babies in China, and a secret family in Russia. And you waiting on them to what? Change? Oh, you one of them types that think you can pull lemonade out of a watermelon. And I never seen lemonade come out of a watermelon. Have you? Have you ever seen lemonade come out of a watermelon? That's for all of you that won't call a thing a thing. The reality is, y'all, when you don't operate in self-awareness, you will swear up and down. You will take somebody that's got all of these flaws. Watch this. And the problem is not with people having flaws. I want to be clear here. The problem is not with people having flaws. The problem is with people not being honest about the flaws they got, and you ain't being honest about them either. Can I be clear? This ain't no commentary about being perfect. All of us got challenges. The problem is about you not being honest about the challenges that you have. So not only are you not being honest, about your challenges, your partner ain't being honest about your challenges either. So you're both living in delusion. And when you both live in delusion, that creates unrealistic expectations. And unrealistic expectations leads to you thinking you have a better relationship than what you have. I don't care how they slice it and dice it. The only thing you getting sitting in the back of an airplane is peanuts. Ain't no free drinks back there. Ain't no unlimited drinks back there. Ain't no charcuterie boards back there on seat 44E. Baby, you got a coach ticket. It is not first class. Ain't none back there but them cold peanuts. Them nasty Biscoff cookies. You're not getting no wet rags. You're not getting no warm wet rags. You're not getting no charcuterie boards and unlimited drinks and snacks. No warm towels. You ain't getting none of that. Doc, this is my husband. This is my wife. We've been together 15 years. This is my everything. Are you really looking at this for what it is? Because let me tell you something. When you ignore the signs and obvious, I'm going to tell you why people ignore the signs. You want to know some reasons why people ignore the signs and obvious? There are 4 big reasons. Record this. Y'all hurry. Y'all can like that Biscoff all you want to. I've told y'all about this. Many of you, what makes liking Biscoff cookies even that much worse while we on it, since y'all want to go there with me? You know what makes Biscoff cookies so bad? Because for many of you, your relationships are the only place where you eat them. I'm going to say this slow. For many of you, why y'all not supporting the show? Support the show. For many of you, your relationships are the only place where Biscoff cookies are available. Your career is first class. Your money is first class. Your children are first class. How you live is first class. Your health is first class. Your physical well-being is first class. And the only thing sitting in 44E is your raggedy spouse. Don't worry. When I go my live talks, I'll have security. I know everybody don't like me. Ain't worried about that. I'm giving you the truth your mama didn't give you. And your daddy and your pastor. That's what I'm doing. So that's why I don't like Biscoff cookies. Because my life is like a charcuterie board in first class. Everything about my life is in the front, not back there. Ain't nothing back there but drafts and cold peanuts. And the line to the bathroom. That's it. I don't want nobody stand up around me the whole flight. Y'all go sit down somewhere. I mean, that literally gives a new definition to say it louder for the people in the back. Many of y'all right in the back with your raggedy partners. And that's why your life isn't in a line. Everything else in your life is first class, but your relationships. You know why? Because you're not calling the obvious. You're not calling the thing the thing. And for many of you, that's enough. You're going to settle and you're going to live that way. And you're going to take your little C and your little D class relationship right onto the grave and be happy. And then many of us are going to say, you know what? I think I'll wait. I think I would rather have a first class relationship that goes with the other first class parts of my life than to have part of my life in first class and then my relationship in the back eating Biscoff cookies and cold peanuts. So let me give you 4 reasons why people don't call a thing a thing. And then I'm going to go back to my list. Y'all good? There are 4 reasons why many of you won't call a thing a thing. And I hope this breaks you down so bad that it forces you to look in the mirror tonight. That's my job. You ready? Here's one reason: fear. 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 Many of you are afraid to call a thing because you absolutely are afraid of what you're going to have to do when you acknowledge what you have. Fear. Fear's got many of you of not calling a thing. And let me tell you something. One surefire sign of being healed is the willingness to take risk. Y'all, I knew I was healed. You ask my parents. I called my mama when it was over because I knew she would have a baby. I knew I was healed, and I was on the other side of one of the most painful seasons of my life when I had this wild idea to jump out of an airplane. I didn't even really like roller coasters. I said, you know what? I think I'm going to go skydiving for my birthday. And that's what I did. And I knew I was on the other side. You know why? Because one of the surefire signs of healing is the willingness to take risk, including walking away from people that ain't serving you. Walking away from people who are not willing to do the work. So fear keeps people from calling a thing a thing. Here's another thing: trust. Some of you won't walk away or call a thing because you have serious trust issues. You have serious trust issues when it comes to people. You ready for this? You don't even trust that there's a possible better option out there, which ties directly connected to fear. Show me someone with fear problems. I'll show you somebody with trust challenges. They're like first cousins. Here's a third reason why people won't call a thing. You ready? Control. Come on, y'all. Are y'all writing? I don't see no salads and no churches. Why my notifications not going on? Moderators put it up. Y'all support the show. Y'all ain't never got no counseling and therapy like this. You get it every Thursday. Control. Let me help you. Many of you won't call a thing because being able to stay in the toxicity and the bad relationships and the bad connections at least gives you some semblance of control. You're better off dealing with the demons you know than not dealing with the demons, or than not dealing with the real demons that you need to overcome. Fear, trust, control. Y'all ready? This is the big one. Number 4. You ready? Many of you have an unhealthy relationship with the unknown. Many of you have an unhealthy relationship. Y'all like and share the video. Hey, TikTok, we had 32,000 likes. Let's get up to 100,000 in the next 15 minutes. Let's blow the thing up. And got about 225 viewers. We're at we're at about 600 all networks. Let's try to get up to 1,000 tonight. Many of you have an unhealthy relationship with the unknown. You know why you won't call a thing? Because you're afraid of what's on the other side, which ties into your control issues. But when you really heal, you don't worry about the unknown. The unknown takes care of itself. The market takes care of itself. You're afraid of the unknown. And the devil you know is better than the one that you can't see. And this is why many of you won't call a thing a thing. It gets worse. Let me give you the third reason why, or a third challenge. I got 2 more challenges, and then I'm going to give you some things to consider that'll help you break this. Oh, it's Topo Chico time. I'm going to have to, because I need a breather for what I'm about to say. This is going to be so bad. I might get banned and reported. Topo Chico, the unofficial sponsor of Thursday Night Lives with Doc. They still ain't called me. I'm about to work on another sponsor because I'm into juicing now. I don't know what's going on. Topo Chico just don't want to give me a chance right now, but it's going to happen. Oh, y'all didn't see the fizz. I normally show y'all the fizz. Look at that. Woo! Let me give y'all the third reason why, or a third challenge that people have when it comes to making this decision complicated. You ready? Fizz lasts a whole hour, don't it? I always get reported, especially on TikTok. TikTok is one of the hatingest platforms that exists. Hey, y'all on TikTok, like the video. I need y'all to heart it. Come on, TikTok. I ain't giving this point until I get 10,000 more likes. Hurry, go. Hit it. What do you do? Double tap, April? Is that what you do? Double tap. Double tap the screen. Come on, TikTok. Let's go. Because they're already shadow banning my stuff. I want you to like it so we can get more people on here. I used to average 700 to 800 viewers per live on TikTok. TikTok alone. 301,000 followers there. My videos get maybe 2,000 views now. Completely shadow banned. It's wild. 17, 18 fake accounts on TikTok. It's wild out there. Hey, y'all double tap. Good. Thank you, TikTok. Appreciate you, Camille, for the Topo Chico love. You always do it. Cheers. Look at Elsa. Doc, didn't even know Topo Chico until you. I know. A lot of y'all saying that. Didn't even know who Topo Chico was. Topo Chico ain't hit me back. Y'all know how it is. Like somebody and you really like them and you calling them, they ain't calling you back. It's that kind of thing. Go to your room before you get embarrassed on this live. My daughter tell me it's happened to me. No, it ain't. Your daddy call you every day. Every day. Y'all ready? Good. We're at 50,000. Keep going. Hey, y'all. Third challenge that makes this decision complicated for a lot of people. You ready? Religion and divorce. This about to be ugly. Religion and divorce. Let's talk about it. Religion and divorce. Now, I'm not going to turn this into a Bible study. I know this is really the one. I can do a live on this. I'm a Christian, proud. As a Christian, I'm honored that I serve atheists, Muslims, agnostic, Seventh-day Adventists, Catholic, New Science, Mother Earth, agnostic, you just name it. They're all on my client list. God has literally called me to heal the world. I believe that. But let me explain this in 3 minutes. When folks hit you with this, well, I can't get out of this marriage, especially because God hates divorce. It's a very interesting comment that is really rooted in a poor translation of scripture. Because if you read this, I'm not going to go through this all day. I don't want to give you a Bible study lesson. But many of you are still in bad relationships right now because of religion. It ain't just Christianity. Many of you are still in bad relationships right now because of religion. And this whole idea, God hates divorce. Allah hates divorce. Well, let me ask you something. As a Christian, the Bible that I read says that Paul talks about divorce. When the men asked him, hey, what do you think? What's up with divorce? Can a man put away his wife? Paul says, well, from the beginning, it wasn't so. Moses wasn't in favor of that when he wrote the 10 Commandments. But then Moses allowed it because the children of Israel had wives and they didn't like those wives, so they wanted more. They didn't like them either. So all of a sudden they wanted to put them away. Moses didn't like that, but they worried Moses to death. And he made the decree that allowed it. Divorce came about as a result of people not liking what they chose. Wait, Doc. Hold on, Doc. That ain't in there. Oh, yes, it is. Divorce came about as a result of men not liking what they chose. I want you to hold that. And so then we get to the New Testament. But then Paul says, hey, if you want to do it, I ain't for it. But listen, if you want to do it, I'll give you two passes. One, you can divorce if there's for adultery, if adultery is in place, which means those of you that have been cheated on multiple times by your spouses and you still stand in the name of religion, that ain't got nothing to do with God. That's got everything to do with you. Stop putting him in it. God ain't got nothing to do with that. That's you. So if he's cheating on you, bringing every kind of baby and disease and everything else in your house, that's on you. God didn't ordain that. You did. Number one. Number two, the second thing that he said was it not for divorce. If the unbelieving spouse wants to leave the believing spouse let the unbelieving spouse go. I'm just giving y'all a little Bible lesson real quick, religion lesson that really spans across different religions. Now, it gets really interesting when you study other faiths too. I had to study other faiths, not only for my work, but because of my clientele. Like the Muslim faith believes that men can have multiple wives. Well, that's an even more complicated matter. Because if you're allowed to have multiple wives, adultery really ain't no big deal, is it? Uh-oh. So here's the problem. The problem is a lot of you are staying in situations in the name of religion. Watch. And your selection had nothing to do with God. Let me ask y'all this. Can anybody ever been to a wedding? Oh boy, watch this. Anybody ever been to a wedding? Why y'all ain't sending no salads? I ain't had a salad in 20 minutes. Y'all mad at this, ain't you? Because now you got to go back and ask your pastor questions. Your pastor ought to be studying. Your monk ought to be studying. Your priest ought to be studying. Y'all ready? Because y'all ain't hit my support the show. Y'all see the way to support the show. Let me ask you, y'all ever been to a wedding? Good. Can I ask y'all something? Have you ever heard the priest or the preacher say, what God put together, let no man put asunder? Y'all ever heard that? Anybody ever heard the priest officiate a marriage and say, hey, what God put together, let no man put asunder? You ready? Some of y'all stand in stuff that had nothing to do with God. But my religion, God didn't put y'all together. And if we're going to be honest, many of y'all didn't pray about the people you married. So if you didn't pray about them and God didn't do it, why are you using religion as a reason to stay? No. If God didn't do it, why are you using him to stay in it? So this is for all of you that try to conveniently use religion to justify staying in your foolishness when the God you serve, God, Buddha, Allah, Mother Earth, the dirt, the ground, whatever, the God you serve had nothing to do with who you chose, but got everything to do with why you stand. Because the reality is, what God put together, let no man put asunder, ain't biblical. It ain't in there. Find it. You find in the Bible, in the Quran, whatever, you find where it say, what God put together, let no man put asunder. Go and find it. Let me know when you find it. Just find it. It ain't in there. It ain't in there. It's not in there. Good luck. It's not in there. So we got to be careful with this, y'all. Okay? We have to we have to be careful with this. And I ain't mad at nobody if you want to use religion to do what you do. Okay? I'm I'm not mad with nobody about that. But y'all putting up Matthew 19 and 6. Have y'all read this? Have y'all read? I mean, I can't turn this into a Bible study because I can go. Have y'all read Matthew 19 and 6? Have y'all actually read it? I don't like we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this tonight. No, we're not. Y'all are egging me on. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. Did y'all read the context of that verse? Do y'all want to have a Bible study? I just be trying to leave this part of me alone. I really, I really just be trying. I don't be bothering nobody. I don't. When you read the entirety of the chapter that talks about divorce, y'all, it starts by addressing what I think it's the scribes or the Pharisees who ask and say, is there any reason we can put away our spouse? And when the answer was given, it talked about them being made male and female. Listen to me. He did not go into answering the issue about divorce. He said in verse number 4, because context matters, he said, haven't you read that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female? So, y'all, hey, agnostics, Catholics, atheists, y'all just bear with me. Give me 90 more seconds. I'm gonna leave this alone. So when the question was asked, is there any reason a person can put away their wife? Why would Jesus say that from the beginning they were made male and female? Uh-oh, Akua, $1 million question. You know why? Because when God made them as Adam and Eve, he made them as what? One. Eve was made out of the rib of what? Adam. They were one from the beginning. So when he says, what God put together, let no man put asunder, he's talking about the original intent of man. I quit. Y'all don't want this. Let me move on. I try to leave that world alone. Y'all just be pulling me. Back to my notes. Atheists, Muslims, agnostics, I'm sorry. Y'all better start reading and get some context. Uh-oh. Y'all got questions for Sunday. Y'all better get to church early Sunday with questions. So religion and divorce. And because I have a manual, because I've married people before, context absolutely matters. Because I've married people, when you look in these little narratives that they give you to say for marriages, and they do the phrase, they put the phrase in there, they mean it in the phrase as if God put two people together, let nobody put them together, but that ain't the right context. And preachers, priests get up and say it and try to refer to Matthew 19 and 6, but that ain't the right context. But anyway, I quit. I don't know what I'm talking about. Fourth reason why, fourth challenge that makes this complicated. Y'all with me? I don't know why y'all be trying to pull that out of me. I don't, I'm trying to lead that. No. Now, 5 areas of healing: mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. There's a reason why. The spiritual is grounded in what I do. Because there's some things, y'all, principles about life that we don't understand that requires a higher level of understanding. You got to have context. And all we do is quote scripture. No context, no nothing. If you Muslim, all you do is quote the Quran with no context, no nothing. Be out on the street downtown Friday with them outfits on, trying to convince people. No context, no nothing. What's them folks that be wearing them outfits, them purple outfits, them dudes? Be out there, no context, no nothing, just quoting scriptures. No context. Somebody like me that studies will chew you up and spit you out. Y'all, we got to study. You have to study. Whatever it is you believe in. Because again, I have clients across the board, but let's just be clear. Well, it's the Bible, Quran, whatever it is, Hebrew Israelites, those are what they are. Whatever it is, you got to study to show yourself approved. Study it so you can defend it. Don't just be quoting stuff. You're going to run into a wall one day, and that wall ain't going to get nothing back. I remember, let me give you the fourth challenge. I remember, hey, TikTok, y'all like the video. Y'all all right? My number's going up a little bit. I thought y'all were going to leave after that Bible study. I didn't mean to. Y'all did it. Y'all pulled that out of me. Y'all started trying to hit me with a scripture, and no, don't do that. Hey, true story. True story. I remember when my church used to do a lot of outreach back in the day, and we'd go away for, we fed like 20,000 people in less than 6 years, less than 300 members, tithes and offering, no loans, grants, and millionaires, none of that stuff. We would do very unconventional things. Take money right out. When people give on like 4 Sundays, we'd take money right out of the bucket, walk down the street, and just pass it out. We just did crazy stuff. But when we did outreach downtown, you know, the Hebrew Israelites would be out there, and they'd be out there barking, and they see what we're doing, so they try to come and talk. And it's so funny. They would point them out. The people would point them out to me, and they would come in there and try to, ask me questions. And I wouldn't run. I stand right there. And they would say, "Did you know, brother?" Da, 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 da. And I would hit them back with da, 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 da. And they would da, da, da. And then we would go back and forth. And they would just be getting loud. And I'd be just be quiet and just saying, "No, that's fine. But this is the context." Then all of a sudden they would just get frustrated, curse, and walk off. Context matters. Y'all better get some. This is why many of you are in bad relationships, because you don't have context. Why in the world would Jesus talk about male and female to answer the question of divorce? And we skip that part. We skip it. We skip that. Many of you need to walk right in your pastor study, your priest study, and your monk's study Sunday, and show them Matthew 19 and 4. Fourth challenge that makes this decision complicated. Y'all ready? Time and history. recorded. Time and history. Time and history. Time and history makes this very complicated for a lot of people. Many of you don't know whether or not to stay in the relationship or leave the relationship because you are weighing things like time and history. Let me tell you something. Time is valuable. History is important. But when you execute the patience to rate on the right person, I believe that being with the right person can make up for lost time in being with the wrong person. Where's my salads at? I don't see no. Are y'all mad at me for that Bible study? I didn't mean to. Y'all ass. Y'all mad at me? Come on, hit that set. Support the show. Hey, TikTok. Hit that like button. We ought to be at 100 right now. We had 271 on TikTok. I can't believe we used to be at 800. Come on. I believe that when you take your time, finding the right person can make up for the lost time. I think we put too much weight on time and history. That in fact, because you spent time with someone does not mean you have a future with them. Somebody needs to hear this. Doc, this is all I known. All I known is them. They're the first person I started talking to when I graduated college. They're my high school sweetheart. That's all I know. Time and history don't mean future. Doesn't mean that. Just because something existed in your yesterday don't mean it's going to exist in your tomorrow. Mm-mm. Oh no. No. And the reality is a lot of people have a lot of time in history with you because they're too lazy to change. And they would rather just die and be settled in their ways with you than to take the risk to try to change. And if it doesn't work, to start over again. Because they feel like it's better off to just staying where you at than going through all the work of trying to change and being in a better position. So people settle. Be 40, 50, 30, 50, 60 years married. Ain't nobody changed. Both people miserable. That's just my husband. That's who he is. That's just my wife. That's who she is. And y'all live that way. And that ain't nothing but misery in the name of time and history. And I feel bad for you. Because I don't care if it's 60 years or 6 years. Time spent with the wrong person will feel like double the time wasted than time spent with the right person. Y'all, you don't believe this? You ever spent time with somebody you really liked? Have you ever spent time with somebody you really liked and noticed that the time was just on fire? It was just going fast. You look up, y'all were talking, it was 6 o'clock, and you look up and it's 11 o'clock, and then you don't even realize, dog, how did it get here? Ever realize how time just moves and just moves? And it's so productive and fruitful when you're spending it with people you enjoy. But have you ever noticed that when you're around a person that's the wrong person, that you don't want to be around, how time takes its time? So the $1 million question is, does time adjust or is it something else? Sorry, y'all, this is just my nerd hat. Bear with me. Does time really tick faster when we're happier? And it ticks slower when we're not happy? Or is it something else? My answer, something else. That in fact, when you spend time with people that align with who you are, that are solid people, committed to being the best version of themselves, it's not that time speeds up, but you can get so lost in the goodness of a person that you lose track of time. This is the kind of relationship you need. You need the kind of relationship where the person's so solid that you lose track of time when you're with them. That's why some of y'all work extra hours, not because you want to work to get that money. You don't want to go home. You know why? Because the time from 5 o'clock, the time you get off at 5 o'clock, to the time you got to be back at work at 8 o'clock the next morning, that period of time from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. feel like 2 days, because that's what it feels like when you're around people you don't want to be around. When you're around people who are not doing the work. When you're around people who are settled in their ways. So time and history don't mean nothing. Now, I want to say this to all of you, especially those of you that are believers. Since y'all put me in the Bible study tonight, I'm going to go off script one time. The reason why spiritual is one of the 5 principles, there's many reasons why spiritual is one of the 5 principles of my work, doing this healing and counseling and therapy work and coaching work. You want to know why spiritual is one of the reasons? Because spiritual really explains things in the natural that we can't understand. There's some things in our natural existence that we cannot understand. Let me just be nerd real quick. Y'all allow me to just be myself. I'm a nerd by nature. There's some things in the natural that we cannot understand that it requires a higher spiritual understanding to understand. Now watch this. Believers, there's a verse that you can quote in context where the writer says, I will restore the years that the locust, the cankerworm, the caterpillar, and the palmer worm had devoured. This verse comes after God has sent destruction to Israel. Now, he sends destruction to them. And when he sends this destruction to them, he says, listen, you're going to go through a hard time. You're going to lose a lot. But I'm going to restore that stuff, but I'm going to give you something that a construction company can't give you. Lose your house, construction company can build that back up. Lose a car, you can go to a car lot and get that back. Lose a man, you can get another one. Lose a woman, you can get another one. But watch this. He said, I'm going to give you something that people can't give you. I'm going to restore the time, your years. So, Doc, how do you say that time with the right person will feel much more productive? Because when you choose the right person and you've had experience with the wrong people, God can restore the time. I'm so sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to go here tonight. I'm sorry. I gotta keep that part of me out of here. God is the only one that can restore the time. God's the only one that can restore time. Anything else you get, you can get back. Friends, money, family, you can make new family. What? Anything else you lose, you can get back. But only God can restore the time. And that's why if you choose right and you've had years of wrong, he'll restore the time. If you ain't scared, I dare you type in the comments, God will restore the time. Doc, I don't believe in God. Believe in him tonight. God will restore the time. Come on, you can do it. Put your back into it. God will restore the time. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. We ain't going to judge you for saying God. Thank you so much, Carmen. I appreciate that. My salads are dry. Y'all must be mad at me tonight. I don't care. God will restore time. He's the only one that can do it. That's why I have him at the center of my clients, 962 clients in 31 countries of all religions and faiths and cultures. Because for the stuff they can't understand, I get them to understand that if you make the right decision, the time you wasted can be restored if you make the right decision. Doc, how is that so? Just take my word for it. Look at y'all. All of these people saying it. And some of you are, I have clients that are Muslim that are on here saying God will restore. I love it. It's universal. I've been called to heal the world. Not just who you like. You better stand on that promise. It's a promise. And let me tell y'all something. Here's the gag. I'm a living witness. I know what it's like to go through periods in my life, y'all, where literally I was counted out. Y'all didn't know me. People didn't know me like they do now. I was counted out. Doc, this guy, you'll never make it from this. You'll never survive this. You've gone through this. This is it. And I was counted out and talked about. And all of a sudden, I'm standing right here to tell you I'm living the best life. I'm living my best life. And I ain't going back and forth with you know what. You know why? Because when you do the work and you make hard decisions and you call the thing and you heal mentally and emotionally, guess what? God will restore the time. Thank you, Danielle. I appreciate that so much. Is this making sense? So let me make it better because y'all upset with me. I love y'all anyway. Hey, TikTok, we're at 87K. I ain't giving the next note until we get to 100. My relationship story, oh, I have to share that with y'all another time. If you're a subscriber, it's there. Subscribe to Patreon and IG. It's there. I'll share that one day. I'm sure. I've got some podcast invites. We'll see. Hey, TikTok, like it. Let's get to 100 before I give y'all. I want to give y'all 3 things to consider. Thank you, Carmen. I appreciate you. I want to give you 3 things to consider. If you're still on the fence about this complicated decision about should I stay or should I go, I'm going to give you 3 things to consider and I'm done. Because some of y'all, I believe, got your answer. If you have your answer, say, I have my answer. Come on. Don't be scared. Say it. Come on. You can do it. Put your back into it. Say it. I have my answer. Do you? Let me see it. I need to see some comments. Hey, like the video. Good. I see you, Michelle. All right. You got your stunners on. There you go, Kelly. I know. Many you got. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it, brother. I know. Good. Thank you. I know. Right. But I'm going to make sure you got it. I'm going to give you 3 more things and I'm done. Hey, TikTok, like, come on. 93.6, 93.7. Come on, 93.8. Let's go. I need y'all to hit that screen. Thank you so much, Jesse, y'all. Appreciate you. Is that my Jesse? Is that my client, Jesse? I believe it is. Hey, Jesse. So sweet. I love her. Good. Hit it. Come on. Yay, Jesse. I thought so. I'm so proud of you. Is this making sense? Come on, TikTok. I ain't giving the next note till y'all get to 100K. We 3,000 away. Come on, go. Good. 2,000. Keep going. While they're doing this, I want to give you, I appreciate you, Carla. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I want to give you 3 things to consider, 3 more things to consider. So I'm giving you 4 challenges of why people make this decision of whether to stay or go complicated. I've given you 4 challenges. Now I've given you a Bible study that y'all asked for. Y'all pulled it out of me, so you got what you asked for. I gave you that. Thank you, Jamaica. Appreciate you. Hope to be there soon. So now I want to give you 3 things to consider. Kat said, my finger is tired. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Thank you, Kat. You were there, y'all. We're there. Thank y'all so much. Kat said, come on, Doc. I appreciate you, sweetheart. 3 things to consider. You ready? Number 1. If you want to really know, based on these challenges we discussed tonight, and you need more data, here are 3 more things you can consider to make this decision. Number 1, how does this relationship align with my values? Number one, I'll give you three more additional things to consider to make this decision. Number one, the value, your values. Many of you have been a part of my value system, so you know where I'm going with this. How does this decision align with my values? Now, this is interesting because I have my clients go through my value system. Many of them do. I've taught this as a group work, but I walk many of my clients through this over weeks and months period of time. And I tell them, in essence, you need to consider what your 5 to 7 values are. These values should be non-monetary, non-people, and they should be things that reflect your attitudes, beliefs, perspectives, ideals. Now, when you identify your 5 to 7 values, ask yourself, if one of your values is peace, if one of your values is peace, and you define peace, because I allow in my system, you're allowed to define what those values mean to you. What peace means to you may mean something different to me, may mean something different to your mama, might mean something different to your neighbor, etc. You get to define what these values mean. But when you identify your values and then define them, then ask yourself the question. If peace is one of your values and you define peace as being in a state of being where there's no drama and things are easy and connected, then ask yourself, does my relationship, does my marriage support my value of peace? If the answer is no, we have a problem. Hey, DC, I'll be there soon. We have a problem. So go to the next value. Maybe it makes it that, hey, Doc, next on my list, I'm just making these up, is freedom. One of my values is freedom. I want to be connected in situations and in spaces where I can live freely without fear or concern about my well-being or safety. I'm just making that definition up. Great. If that's your definition of freedom, then ask yourself, does being in this marriage or relationship support your value of freedom? If the answer is no, we have a problem. I'm stopping. It's me. I need to get a ticker. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that added to my thing. Crickets will work. Your values, y'all, will tell you where you ought to be. And the reality is, many of you ain't thought about your values. You're just in love. Many of you ain't thought about your values. You are just happy to have somebody and afraid that if you lose this person, you'll never get anybody. So you settle for anything. If you want to know whether or not to stay or go, line them up against your values. Oh, Doc, I value honesty, Doc. Oh, man, look. Honesty is big in my life, Doc. I got to have everything in my life got to be true. I don't like no dishonest this, and I can't be in no job with dishonest people and no dishonest boss. You can't lie to me. Okay. Then if you value honesty, align your relationship and measure your relationship against honesty and ask yourself, does it match up well? Well, Doc, I've been cheated on 4 times. We have a problem. See, we make this complicated. This stuff ain't complicated. Now, I want to say this. Can people change? Yes, they can. People can change. I believe in that. I'm in the reconciliation business. So don't get mad at me and get off this call, Doc, trying to break everybody up. No, I'm not. I've reconciled 100 couples in the last 25 months. I'm going to continue to say it until y'all get sick of hearing it. I don't care. Because I don't know a lot of other counselors, therapists, coaches, pastors, none of that with the same record. I'm in the front of this game. I do this well. I'm in the reconciliation business, but I'm also in the truth business. And there is no reconciliation without truth. Record it. Come on, hurry. You can do it. Put your back into it. Type it, all capital letters. There is no reconciliation without truth. I like that, Chelsea. Appreciate you. Awesome woman and great channel and great. She gives great knowledge. Chelsea, I appreciate you. Yeah, it's got to be fruit. A lot of y'all just talking. I got data. I don't like talking. I'm too busy to talk. There is no reconciliation without truth. And many of you are trying to reconcile in spaces where there's no honesty. Good luck with that. You ain't reconciling nothing where honesty is missing. And when you discover your values, you know what it brings to the forefront? There's a whole lot of problems over here. Identifying your values and measuring your life against your values is an exercise in honesty. There's no reconciliation without truth, which means when a person says, hey, I want to reconcile, we broke up. We broke up. I want to reconcile. And I want us to make this work. Great. Then ask them this. How willing are they to be truthful? Because reconciliation starts where truth begins. And until truth shows up, y'all, I have had sessions with folks who wanted me to help, but they didn't want to tell me the truth. How am I going to help you? How? How am I going to help you fix your life, fix your marriage, fix your relationship, fix whatever, and you don't even tell me the truth? I can't, because reconciliation starts where truth begins. Ooh. All right. So line them up with your values. Here's the second thing. Second thing I want you to consider. Y'all got some time? Y'all mind if we go 15 minutes over to about 11:15 tonight? Y'all need to support the show. I'm giving y'all extra time tonight. My stomach is growling over here because I'm hungry. And I sacrifice for y'all. Support the show. Hey, Joe, where you been? Joe, where you at? I want to reconcile, but I can't tell you how many people I cheated on and cheated with. I want my wife back, but I can't be honest about my DMs. I want my husband back, but I can't admit what I did during the hot girl summer last week in Jamaica. Hey, don't shoot me. I'm just the mailman. Reconciliation begins where honesty begins. And a lot of you have not been able to move forward with people because they don't want to be honest. A lot of you have not even been able to get to know people because they don't want to be honest. Listen, let me just can I give some of you single people some advice? Here's some advice. If you really like somebody, just tell them. Stop playing around with people and expecting them to just try to figure it out. Are you playing these Stop. Stop. Because if it ain't that easy, maybe you're not ready for them. Y'all stop. Commitment, relationships start where honesty begins. Just like reconciliation. That's where honesty begins. Anyway, second thing to consider. Y'all ready? Number one was the value system. We just putting a nail in this coffin tonight. I love y'all. I hope y'all still love me. My salads are dry and low tonight. I'm gonna starve. You ready? Akua said, I like you and I want you. Yeah, well, oh boy, I'm not gonna turn this into a masculine feminine energy thing tonight, but I will say this about men and women leading. A lot of you women, yeah, I'm just telling you from a man standpoint and from a healed one, not a toxic one. A lot of you women have had healed men express interest and you play games because you're not healed enough to be able to handle a healed man. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but the reality is a lot of you, men and women, are asking for stuff you just not ready for. Everybody want a healed person until they show up. And then all of a sudden, a healed person in your life is like taking a flashlight and pulling your couch back and flashing it back there. And all of the roaches and the lint and the plastic bags and the burger paper is exposed. But y'all get on social media. I want a healed man. I'm healed. I want to be healed. I want a healed woman. I want to heal it. No, you don't. Not if you ain't got your stuff together. Because when a healed person shows up, it exposes, it reveals. You know why? Because there's a light that comes with you. And light always reveals. So some of y'all need to just keep courting the folks that's in coach that you've been courting. Because when you say you want a heal person, you better make sure you prepare for them. Because when they show up, it will expose your insecurities. Yeah. If you show up with insecurities you ain't dealt with, you show up with insecurities you ain't handled, or a healed person, just their presence alone gonna expose them. Second thing I want y'all to consider, you ready? I want you to evaluate three things. Evaluate dysfunction, effort, and time. And I have not made my case to you tonight on what you should do. Because hopefully many of you have heard this say, yep, he checks these boxes. She checks these boxes. I think I'm good. I think I should stay. I think we should work this out. Great. I hope that. But I want you to evaluate dysfunction, effort, and time. This is the second thing I want you to consider. Evaluate dysfunction, effort, and time. Evaluate dysfunction, effort, and time. When I say to evaluate dysfunction, I mean look at your partner and ask yourself, is this dysfunction they have, number one, something they're willing to try to address? Nobody's perfect. We all have inadequacies and shortcomings. That's not the problem, y'all. The problem is people having shortcomings and not being willing to do nothing about it. So evaluate, are they willing to do something about their dysfunction? And is this a dysfunction that I can tolerate while they work on it? Okay? So you got to evaluate that. Number two ties in with number one. You got to evaluate their effort. Because it takes two people to reconcile, not one. I have yet to reconcile a couple where only one of them wanted it and the other one didn't. Doc Good, he ain't that good. I can't reconcile no couple where only one of them want to do the work and the other one isn't willing to. Dysfunction can only be corrected when both people are willing to address it. Reconciliation can only occur when you have dual effort. Here's the third thing I want you to consider in that same number two: dysfunction, effort, and time. What do I mean by time? I mean, how long have they had this dysfunction? How much effort have they put around this dysfunction? And how much time have you wasted waiting on them to fix it? How long have they had this challenge? How much effort have they put into fixing this challenge? And how long have you waited on them to do it? Hey, you ever been on an airplane? Let me give y'all some practice. You want an analogy tonight? Y'all want an analogy? All right. Analogy, Prince. Let's do some work. You ever been on an airplane? I was flying back from, where was it? Was it Baltimore? Was that the last time I was on a plane? Baltimore. Last time I was on a plane was coming back from Baltimore, and was on the plane, and they came over the thing and said, "Hey, we got a little delay." They shut the doors. The pilot comes on. The cuts on the engines and stuff. The thing we get ready to pull off, and the pilot comes on and says, "Hey, everybody, we've got a little mechanical error. We just know it's a mechanical error. It's going to be a little delay. We've called for the technicians to come and fix it. Everybody just hold tight. You can get out, take your seatbelts off. We're not moving. You can get up, use the restroom, do what you got to do." Didn't say how long it was going to last. Doors open. Here comes the mechanics. They go to the back of the plane. I don't know what they're working on back there. I'm in first class. I'm eating snacks and just relaxing with my hot towel. So I don't know what they're doing, right? Watch this. They come on and say, "Well, hey, you know what? This mechanical issue is actually going to take them a little bit longer than what they expected." Now, watch this. It's not going to take as long enough for us to get off the plane and switch planes. But what we thought was going to be like a 15-minute fix is going to be more like 60 minutes. We want to just let y'all know this, and everybody just sit on a plane and be patient. And sure enough, the mechanics were working hard. The mechanics fixed the plane, and at about 55 minutes in, they finished. Pilot came on and said, "Hey, we're ready to roll. Sorry about that delay. Your safety is important. We're going to get on out of here." And we moved on. That was the last time I was on a plane. In case you don't know where I'm going, let me help you. Maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I was flying, I think, to Sacramento or Seattle. I can't remember. It was one of those. It started with an S. And I had to connect from Charlotte to Philly. And when I got to Philly and we got on the plane, it was storming really bad. But the pilot had the same message. "Hey, we got a mechanical issue, and they're going to work on this. And honestly, because of the nature of the issue, I don't know how long it's going to take." This is a true story. An hour passed. Within that hour, pilot came on 2 or 3 times. "Hey, just updating y'all. Don't want you to think I forgot about you. We're working on this." Got into the second hour. That pilot came on 2, 3, maybe 4 times. So many times we got tired of hearing it because every time we heard the thing come on, we thought they were going to be like, "Yes, it's time to go." Pilot's like, "Hey, no, don't want to let y'all down. I'm just keeping communication to let you know we're working on it." See, I'll have a problem with people when they got problems when they communicate. Because when somebody working on something, they're going to let you know they working on it. Come on, y'all. You're going to have to lift your brain up tonight. But I ain't even at my point yet. So we get into hour 3 and watch what happens. Pilot comes on and says the unthinkable. He says, "Y'all, we have a major problem. We're on a plane with an issue that can't be fixed. And the only way we're going to get you to your destination is you're going to have to get off the plane. We're going to have to unload your cargo. We've sent for another plane, and you're going to have to get on another one. You know why? Because there comes a period of time where you have wasted so much time and the problem has not been resolved that maybe, just maybe, it's time to get off the plane. I don't know who I'm talking to tonight. I'm trying to leave that hat alone. I don't know who I'm talking to tonight. But some of y'all been on a plane that people claim they've been fixing for the last 15 years. I mean, they've been working on this plane for the last 15 years. And what you've been doing? Oh, they working on it. They working on it. At least my pilot was honest enough to say, hey, we can't do nothing about this. So we're going to get y'all off this plane so that y'all can get there, even if it means this plane can't take you. Because we love y'all more. We love y'all more so much that it's more important that y'all get to where y'all need to go than for us to try to get y'all there on this plane. Some of you could respect your partners and people that you connected to a whole lot more if they were just honest and said, you know what? I love you so much that this thing that I'm dealing with, this stuff I got to fix in my life is so heavy and deep that instead of me holding you back and wasting your life, I love you enough to let you get to your destination. And I hope I can repair myself and meet you there. But in the event that I can't, I love you enough that I don't want to destroy your life because you're waiting on me to fix myself. I don't know who the somebody is. Y'all ain't hit me with no salads. I feel like I'm not doing good tonight. But do me a favor, type in the comments. Somebody needs to get off the plane. Will y'all do that for me? Somebody needs to get off the plane. Just type it. Maybe you to somebody. Somebody needs to get off the plane. Joe said, I need to get off the plane. Somebody need to get off the plane. Yeah, Chelsea, that's a word. Different plane. Was it the same pilot? That's a word. That's a word. That was a word. It was the same pilot. It was the same pilot, different plane. Which means if a person fixes themselves, they can go with you to your next destination. If they have enough awareness to recognize that there's some failures they need to correct first. Which means brokenness doesn't mean a future, doesn't mean that you don't have to have a future. Just because you're with someone that's broken, it doesn't mean you can't have a future with them, but you're not going to have no future if they're not willing to admit what's wrong and fix it. That's a word. You're right, Chelsea. That's a whole word. That's why I'm in the reconciliation business, because I help people say, you know what, this plane is messed up. Let's fix this. And if we can't fix it, let's get a whole new relationship. Let's start over. Let's reset our value. Let's and rebuild this thing and make sure it's rock solid. And then we're gonna get on the fly. But somebody needs to get off the plane. Some of us are glad we got off the plane. Some of y'all are dying on the plane. You playing Russian roulette with your life, flying on a plane that's got mechanical failures. that they've been working on for the last 15 hours. I like that, Chris. Good to see you, brother Chris. De-blame, right? It literally brings a new meaning to de-blame, right? Last thing I want to give you. Here's the last thing I want you to consider. We talked about this a little bit early. I'll end it with this. Give me 5 minutes. Last thing I want you to consider. We talked about considering the value system. We talked about considering evaluating dysfunction, effort, and time. Third thing I want you to consider is life alignment. Life alignment. Yeah, it's worse when the pilot don't communicate. Y'all on dysfunctional planes with folks that don't even talk unless they want something. And you don't even know what's wrong with the plane. They ain't telling you what's wrong with the plane. And you just really just taking a major risk with your life, dealing with a non-communicator who won't tell you what's wrong with the plane. That's wild. That's nasty work. Nasty work. Y'all, number 3, life alignment. What that mean? Just look at your situation and ask yourself, how does your situation align with the rest of your life? Now, if your life is raggedy, if your dreams are raggedy, if your goals are raggedy, if your career is raggedy, if your money's raggedy, if how you live and choose to live is raggedy, then go ahead and get a raggedy relationship. It fits. But if your goals are not raggedy and your dreams and ambitions are not raggedy and the things and plans that you have set for your life are not raggedy, why would you stay in a raggedy relationship? Why? Don't say in the name of history, we dealt with that. Don't say in the name of religion, we dealt with that. Don't say because you've been ignoring the signs, we dealt with that. Don't say because of your kids. We got kids together. We got history. We dealt with that. If your life raggedy, go get a raggedy relationship so y'all can match. I mean that with all of me. Doc, you're being a little mean, aren't you? No, I'm being a little honest. What most of you are not used to. If you think your life is raggedy, then stay in that raggedy relationship. But if your relationship is raggedy and everything else in your life is top tier, top class, why would you settle for something that raggedy in a space that has the ability to literally destroy your life? Why? I had to get on my kids about this. I had to talk to my kids. My kids are, they're 10 and 11. I think I was borderline OCD as a kid. My parents can attest to this. That's a bus. I would come home and visit home from college on the weekends, and some weekends, and I would come, and my face is breaking out. And I would come home, and I could tell when somebody sat on my bed. Like right now in my bedroom, my sheets are military style tucked. You know how you get in a hotel bed and it's so tight you can barely get under the you can you can barely get under the covers. That's how my bed. Like I'd be straining pulling the sheets down when I tuck them. I have a minimalist type of bedroom. It's not a lot in there. It's real plain, but it's nice. Now I fuss at my kids about this because my kids go in there and you see all kinds of stuff in the bedroom. You got ho-ho packs and Starbucks cups from 3 weeks ago. You got all this stuff. And it's wild to me. And I say to them, how do you live in a nice house, live a decent life, but come home to a pig pen? And at 10 and 11, they don't get it. Daddy, we're doing the best we can. We're trying our best to clean it up. What can we do to make it that better? Simple. For those of you that are asking, Doc, how can we fix it? Make your relationships look like the rest of your life. Make your relationships look like the rest of your life. That's how you fix it. And I know I ain't the only one with kids that act like this. But I didn't have that problem as a kid. That's one problem I didn't have. I've been a clean freak. You can eat off my kitchen floor. You can eat off my bathroom floor. I don't have that issue. The kids today, man, like it just be wild. Some of your cars, same way. You have a nice car, you open the door and stuff start falling out. Your trunk, some of you ladies especially, I love y'all, but it's some about some of you ladies, your trunk looks like your closet. You got shoe boxes, you got all this stuff. All this stuff. I'm not, this isn't this isn't a narrative on cleanliness, not really. But the larger point is really about making all of your life look the same. How would you look walking or riding around in the Maybach? You riding around in the Maybach, and when we open the door, stuff falling out of it. I'm talking about men and women. Because most men, a lot of men are nasty. You wouldn't believe the client stories that I hear about men that just are nasty. They throw stuff everywhere. I tell men, if you want to be healed, get clean in every way. Not just your apartment and your house. Clean your life up. Clean everything up. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Get clean. I can give you, fellas, this free game right here. When a woman walk in your place and is clean, let me just give y'all free game. Fellas, you got your own place. When somebody walk in your house, there ought to be an air freshener near the door. I'm sorry. My mama taught me this stuff. There ought to be an air freshener near. So when somebody walks in, there's an aroma that just goes. And when she walks in and smells that air freshener and looks down and can see a shine on the floor. Turn off the lights and light a candle. Turn off the lights and light a candle. I'm giving you free game. No, y'all walk in, guys have soda bottles everywhere, cups, dirty socks. It's why. And listen, I ain't just talking about some of you guys. Some of you ladies are like this too. And I'm gonna just say this out loud since we on it. We talking about life alignment. I'm done. I just need 2 more minutes because I'm gonna say this, and I don't care how many of you women get mad. You ready, ladies? It's one thing for a man to be dirty. It's one thing for a man's house, an apartment not to be clean. But my grandmama, who had an 8th grade education, used to say this. Y'all don't like this. My grandma had 8th grade education. She used to say that if a woman's house is dirty, guess what? Everything else, probably dirty. Well, Doc, I got this. I got kids. I got that. I get it. I'm a single father of 2 who are predominantly with me. I get it. I was telling somebody today, I literally bounce from appointment to appointment to appointment to thing. My kids are in camps. I rearrange my schedules around their camps and their camp schedule changed. I have to rearrange all this stuff. Oh, by the way, I got to clean my house. I got to make sure that they're fit. I got to make sure the dishes are done. I got to make sure laundry's straight. I got to make sure my house is presentable. And guess what? I do it. And that's without a wife. That's without a nanny. I want a nanny. Like tomorrow. Ain't no excuse, ladies. Ladies and guys, I'm talking to you. Clean up your space. And this connects beautifully with life alignment. Some of us have nice things in certain areas, but dirty stuff in other areas, and it really makes it all look bad. I remember, where was I? I was in Baltimore. It wasn't this last time. I was in Baltimore about 3 years ago for work. It was before I was full time. I was in Baltimore about 3 years ago, and thank you, Nell. I appreciate that. I was in Baltimore about 3 years ago, and true story. This nice Tesla pulled up for the Uber. Nice, jet black, nice jet black Tesla. Man, I opened that door and smoke just came out the inside. Like I opened the door and smoke came out the window. I opened the door and did like this. I got a contact as soon as the door opened. The ooh was that loud. The loud was louding. The loud was that loud. Y'all know what kind of smoke I'm talking about? The ooey smoke. The loud was louding. I opened the door and was like, I looked in there. I looked back and said, "You Dr. Zed?" I said, "I am." Thank you, man. I came out, sat down, did like this. It was hazy in there. Nice Tesla, but smoking inside. Some of you, your lives are nice in certain areas, but it's junky in others. And you wondering why life ain't working out for you the way it should. And it's because you got a nice Tesla, but it's dirty inside. You got a nice house, you got a nice career, you got all this stuff, but your relationships are raggedy. And a raggedy relationship has enough, a diffuser. Oh my God, that's hilarious, right? A lot of y'all have awesome careers, you got money, you got great family support, but your relationship choices are trash. Your relationship choices are trash. And I'm telling you, you need to absolutely create alignment in your life. Stop having Tesla jobs and Maybach careers. And I don't even want to use a car brand because I don't want to offend nobody. A raggedy car relationship. Stop. That's how we create alignment. Y'all, did this make sense tonight? I'm done. Makes sense? Should I leave this live up or no? Should I take it down? Oh, y'all done got a Bible study. Y'all have gotten it all tonight. No, I ain't gonna say it all. No. A Pinto. Can I say Pinto? I saw a Pinto recently. Somebody was riding an old school Pinto. It was pretty cool. Should I leave this up? This makes sense? Come on, type it up. Type some churches in there with a bunch of R's. Hey, TikTok, I can't leave it up on there. They got me shadow banned. So you got to go to my my Facebook, my IG, or my YouTube. TikTok, they just keep banning me. I don't know why. This makes sense? Support the show. Come on. I need 10 people to support right now. Hurry. Because y'all sold me short tonight. Some of y'all mad. And I know you mad because I told you that what God put together, let no man put asunder, is in the Bible. Y'all start searching because you thought I was lying until you found the scripture out of context. Some of y'all still mad about that. Some of y'all still mad because I told you your relationship's in the back, eating Biscoff cookies and you riding first class. And I don't like Biscoff cookies. And I meant what I said. Stop having first class lives and coach relationships. Stop. Because it looks bad. Have you ever seen somebody, you know their life and you know their excellence, but then you look at their mate and you like, the math ain't mathing. How did he end up with her? How did she end up with him? And baby, let me tell you something. You can put lipstick on a pig. You can put a 22 piece on it with edge control. and a dress from White House, black market. But that pig is still a pig. Ladies, you can take a donkey, put a hat on it, put a suit on it, put some leather gloves on its paws. But that donkey is still a donkey. So I know y'all upset tonight. I love y'all. This wasn't personal. But I hope you listened to this live and you got an answer. Now, here's what this content won't do. This content not going to give you the courage to make a decision. You can have all the data in the world that tells you what you ought to do. But now you got to have the courage to what? Do the right thing. What makes me effective in this space? 962 clients in 31 countries. You know what makes me effective? I know the stuff. Narcissist, got all the terms. I can explain that in ways that's easy for everybody to understand. But what makes me effective is that I tell you the truth. Now you got to have the courage to go do something. To call a thing still a thing. Thank you, Random Candy. So y'all can stop putting edge control on pigs. Stop. So you can stop putting Beijing on donkeys. Y'all support the show? I need y'all to support the show. While you doing it, real quick announcements. I got big announcements. 3 big ones. Number 1, July Purpose Month. July the 13th, Finding Your Purpose. July the 27th, Executing a Vision with No Playbook. Y'all asked me to do a group work on how to find your purpose. I'm an expert in this space. I'm an expert in this space. Thank you, Akua. I appreciate you. I'm an expert in this space because I know what it's like to craft a purpose in a lane that people haven't driven before. Now, listen, you're going to get talked about. People are going to secretly talk about you until you start winning. Then everybody's going to talk to you. It's wild how that works. I mean, it's nasty work. Okay? So I'm going to help you with that. July the 13th, July 27th. Sign up for it. Links in my bio. Let's fill those classes up. My client calendar is very limited in July because I'm going to be on holidays. Thank you so much, Tree. I appreciate you supporting. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. My client calendar is very limited in July. I'm only working maybe like 4 or 5 days in July because it's going to be a rest month for me for the most part. I got family vacations. I got individual vacations. So July 13th and 27th are going to be major times to work together. That's announcement number 1. Announcement number 2, y'all, I think I have found a distributor for these. Y'all have been like, Doc, I want a hat. I think I found a distributor. I don't want to give out more details right now, but I think I have a distributor. We've been able to work out something, and she's creating my own line of these. And they should be available soon. And I'm only going to have a limited amount of them out. So I'm really excited about that. And they're going to be in multiple colors, probably 3 or 4 different designs. That's it. It's going to be awesome. And I need y'all to support. Yes, Doc has his own line coming of these. You know, the stuff that people laughed at because I wore it. This is why I pay to be yourself. Logo on it, all of it. That's why it pays to be yourself. So Inspired Nation, we coming up slowly, but we getting there. Should I sign up for the purpose group work or stay on the track that you have me on? You can do the purpose if you want to. The purpose will align really good with Melissa, will align really good with what we're working on. So you can do that. It won't hurt you. It's really going to go good with what we are doing. Yeah, I'm wearing this hat. I'm going to be in the pool this summer with this hat on. That's what I do. If it's going to get wet, then it get wet. If it's dry, I wash it. That's what I wear. Okay? Announcement number 2. Announcement number 3. You ready? Drum roll. Oh, let me play I should have played my soft music to talk to you. When I really get in my rants, I'm going to start playing that right there. Shout out to Chris Morton. Chris Morton did that for me. I'm gonna play that right there when I really get in my hard rants. Like some of my YouTube video, that's gonna be in the background because I'm gonna be going off. Announcement number 3. Yes, well, I ain't gonna be in Florida. I'm gonna be out the country, but yeah, I'm gonna wear my hat. This is actually good for shading your head from the sun, especially when you're bald headed. Announcement number 3. You ready? I'm going to be accepting new clients probably in 2 weeks. I underestimated my load, how much I could take. I sold out in 90 minutes when I opened my calendar about a month ago. And I am going to open my calendar for new clients probably in 2 weeks. It's going to be right before I really take off for serious vacations. And this will be the last time I open for the year because I've got it set now, I believe, to where I will be able to fill up August. So I'm not taking really anything in July, more than what I have. August all the way through December. Can you make some with satin in the inside for us natural hair girls? That's a really good idea. Let me do that. Let me get that to my lady and partner. Hats with satin inside for natural hair. Great suggestion. Okay, so that's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. Now, I'm going to do it in the same format because the package thing was a big hit. I didn't realize it was going to be that big of a hit, but it was a big hit. I have clients that already booked through December right now that did 6 session packages. They're meeting with me once a month. So I'll have 6s. I'm going to have 3s. I'm going to have 4s, and I'm going to have 6s. 3 session packets, 4, or is it 5s? It's 3 5s and 6, or 3 4 6. I can't remember. I think it's 3 5 and 6. I'll have those, but then I'll have some individuals as well. Individual links for individuals for 1 session. I'll have individual links for couples for 1 session. I'll have that available. I'm going to have it cadence based on the number of slots that I have in 2 weeks for the rest of the year. That also considers my current clients that I have working because I've got to also factor that in. I have clients that will continue to work. I don't want to be able to just have them blocked out because I brought on all these new people. I have to be very wise about this. And I've also considered my cadence for the fall in the hopes that we're able to get this tour off the ground. I've identified the first 4 cities where I want to start. I'll announce that publicly real soon, but I already have the 4 cities that I want to start to do live talks, hopefully starting late September or October through the rest of the year. So a lot of great things popping and moving, and it's all really possible because of your support. Okay. So I appreciate all of you. I'm going to go. I feel like I'm rambling now. Do me a favor, like the video, share the video. I appreciate you. I'm rooting for you. Can't wait to work with all of you. Sign up for group work in July. Get on my calendar in a couple of weeks. Again, it's going to go by really fast. And once the slots are gone, they'll probably be gone for the rest of the year. Okay. I appreciate all of you. Have a fantastic night. Share the live. Thank you. Good. Thank you, TikTok. You guys are really sharing this live. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. We'll talk soon. Have a good evening. Yes, I'm going to need some assistance. We'll talk about that for sure. All right. I appreciate you. Yeah, I do need some rest, Ty. Y'all can probably see the fatigue, and I'm not kidding you. I'm going to sleep so much in July. I'm stoked. Oh, I can't wait. Y'all have a good night. All right. Have a good night. I'll talk soon. Peace and blessings. Be good. Bye now. See you. Bye.